Have you ever felt like your life was a roller coaster, filled with ups and downs, joys and sorrows, blessings and struggles? If so, you're not alone. The story of Rachel and Leah is a powerful reminder that even in life's messiness, God is still at work, weaving His purposes through our pain and fulfilling His promises despite our failures. As we continue our journey through Genesis, we see two unchanging realities: the faithfulness of God and the fallen nature of man. Last time we saw God meet Jacob in a powerful vision at Bethel, reaffirming the covenant promises made to Abraham and Isaac. Jacob responded in faith, giving himself to the Lord. But as Jacob arrives at his uncle Laban's home, we quickly see that faith doesn't eliminate life's challenges. Jacob falls in love with Laban's younger daughter, Rachel, and agrees to work for 7 years to marry her. But on the wedding night, Laban deceives Jacob, substituting his older daughter, Leah, for Rachel. When Jacob confronts him, Laban proposes that Jacob work another 7 years for Rachel. Can you imagine the heartache, the feelings of betrayal? It's a painful reminder that we live in a fallen world where even those closest to us can wound us deeply. But notice God's grace during the pain. Verse 31 tells us, when the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, He enabled her to conceive. God sees Leah's hurt and blesses her with children, including Judah, through whose line the Messiah would come. Meanwhile, Rachel remains barren and a fierce rivalry develops between the sisters. In desperation, Rachel gives her servant Bilhah to Jacob to bear children on her behalf. Leah responds by giving her servant Zilpah to Jacob as well. The sisters compete for Jacob's affection through childbearing, even bargaining over mandrakes, a vegetation believed to help with fertility. It's a messy situation, one that might sound more like a soap opera than a Bible story. But through it all, we see God's faithfulness and sovereignty. Each son born is a gift from God, a reminder that He hears the cries of the afflicted and has compassion for those who are hurting. As Leah names her son, she acknowledges God's hand in her life. Because the Lord heard that I am not loved, He gave me this one too. 29, verse 33. And when Rachel finally conceives and gives birth to Joseph, she recognizes that it is God's work. She says, God has taken away my disgrace. May the Lord add to me another son. Chapter 30 and verses 23 and 24. Rachel's journey teaches us that God's blessings don't come through human effort, but through God's intervention. In her barrenness, Rachel learns to trust God in her distress. So what can we take away from this complicated family saga? First, God's grace and blessings are not dependent on human perfection. Leah and Rachel are both flawed individuals, caught up in jealousy and rivalry. Yet God still uses them to fulfill His purposes and to build the nation of Israel. No matter our past mistakes or present struggles, God's grace is greater. Second, God sees our pain and hears our prayers. Leah's story reminds us that God is close to the brokenhearted and attentive to our sufferings. When we feel unloved or unseen, we can trust that God's eyes are on us and that He is working even in our hardest moments. It can be easy to feel forgotten in times of barrenness or waiting. But Rachel's story encourages us to keep bringing our requests to God, trusting in His perfect timing. And third, faith doesn't exempt us from life's challenges, but it does give us hope to persevere. Leah keeps loving Jacob and finding her worth in God's favor, even when her marriage is far from ideal. Rachel keeps trusting God for a child, even as the years stretch on. Friends, no matter what trials we're facing today, whether it's family drama, infertility, feelings of insignificance, or unfulfilled longings, we can bring them to the God who sees, the God who hears, the God who is faithful through every generation. His purposes are bigger than our problems. His love is deeper than our pain. So keep wrestling in prayer. Wait in hope and trust in the God who is writing a story far greater than we can imagine. And every season, may we say with Rachel, may the Lord add to me. May we believe with Leah, this time I will praise the Lord. He is working all things together for our good and for His glory.